Welcome to the With Rachel show. I'm so excited to introduce you to my friend and local artist, Andrew Reed. And in this episode, you're going to be able to hear and see Andrew's unique perspective and approach to art. Andrew, thank you for coming on the show today and talking to me.
Thank you so much for inviting me over.
Yeah, for sure. So I thought it would be fun if we talked about our artwork together.
Yes.
And we could talk about like what inspires us and just like what we think of each art piece, and we could just critique each other.
That sounds good.
Cool. So we'll start with your first art piece, which is...
So the hand is a three-dimensional sculpture that I'm making out of clay, and I'm using metallic gold. My inspiration behind this was it's called Midas Touch, and what this is it's showing you that you may have everything in the world, you may be really happy, but it shows that even though you may have everything, there's still brokenness in this world, and like it's up to you to be able to overcome that and to become even better as a person. So this hand that I'm making is kind of encompassing that, and there are two missing fingers on that. It's kind of like he has a lot, he has all this kind of stuff, but there's still parts of our life that, we're not perfect. And that just shows that, we all start from somewhere, and like, even though we have imperfections, we can build off of them, and instead of using them as a crutch, we can use them as a inspiration and something to build from.
So the first piece that I decided to show was the anchor one, and I did that one in high school, and it's a watercolor painting because I love watercolor. I love how you can like take the brush and like barely get it wet and then add the color, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a colored pencil and paint mixed together. I just love it. I just really liked adding the details, and then I thought it was so fun to I painted the whole anchor, and then I added the water on top of it. So it was like so fun to just be able to go crazy.
Yeah, painting is a very therapeutic experience.
So your second piece is a portrait of yourself and some animals. Could you explain what that means?
So what this piece is it's called The Peaceable Kingdom. And this piece is actually a drawing with collage kind of elements into it. So it's not just a cave, and it's not just animals, and it's not just a picture. What this is it's showing that I'm saving the animals from the darkness. I'm bringing the light into the world. And what this is peace starts with you. Peace starts in the mind. If you don't work to save other people through your words and your actions and encouraging others and helping others through difficult times, then you could be leading someone astray, or you could have you have impact on this world that you don't realize. So what I'm doing is I realize these animals are in trouble. These animals need a lot of help. So I'm going into this deep, dark cave, and I'm saving them from this darkness. So it's like if you see someone who's really struggling, and you know that you have been given the opportunity to try and help them, don't just think, oh, another person's going to be able to help me. Another person is going to sometimes you have to be brave, and sometimes you have to step out and say, even though, I'm taking risks and I'm trying to help other people through this kind of stuff, I need to be the one to do it. I can't wait for another person to help. So this peaceable kingdom, it all begins with you.
So the second piece that I decided to show is a portrait of my brother eating an apple and looking at a cornfield. And I took the picture on my cell phone, and he was at a really cute age. He was like 3 or 4, and I just thought it was adorable. And so this one's watercolor too.
Nice.
But I use this thing. My teacher had this stuff. I don't know what it's called. You probably know what it's called. But so I like made my outline, and then I took this, it was like clear glue, and I like put it on the outline on the parts that I wanted to stay completely white. And then I painted the whole picture, and then I peeled it off, and then it was like perfectly white where that stuff was. And it just like added so much detail to the corn. And it was so cool. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
There's really a fascinating way to interact with your canvas. And I can tell that we're not just using our paints and our colors, but we're adding details through being creative about our materials that we're using.
I think it's so cool that you can add to your painting by taking away and like by preserving the white it adds. So could you tell me about your third piece?
So my third piece is called John Henry Was a Steel Driving Man.
Okay.
And this piece actually was inspired by 1800s, railroad tracks, slave driving, all these kinds of things that we learn about in history. It was kind of a historical piece, and I just have John Henry as this very tall, 6'9" man. He's standing with a giant, it's a giant hammer, and he's going to work on the railroad. So he is going down, and he is a steel driving man, so he is nailing in the railroad, and he's working till the day that he dies. And, it's just like, it's a piece about hard work gets you results. So, like, you can't just build a railroad. You can't make transportation unless you actually go and do the hard work behind it.
So my third piece that I brought is a portrait of my mom when she was a little girl, and she's holding a kitten on the stairs. And I chose to do that piece because I just kind of wanted to make a really memorable piece for my mom to have to hang up or have at the house. But I think the funnest part about that piece was drawing the cat and all the details because I love cats.
Nice.
And I just think it was fun to like draw the fur and stuff. But the worst part about that was probably shading in the stairs, like big shading. Do you like shading?
I do. I enjoy shading. I have learned that you don't just start out with pencil shading. A lot of the times you can do shading with different materials. So with a pencil, you have to press harder in the really dark areas and then bring it to the light. With watercolor, a lot of the times you have to use lighter paint, or like you have to mix the paint to make it lighter, or like put more water into it so that it blends into the background a little bit more. So with every single type of material that you have to interact with the medium differently.
So how do you think being colorblind has affected your experience as an artist?
I've had to overcome how to distinguish color palettes, how to work colors together to make them work like a normal person would. A regular color palette is very difficult for me without my colorblindness glasses, because you may think, oh, red and blue, or like certain colors go really well together to normal people, but to colorblind people, it's like, oh, that color and that color, I didn't know that went well together. I've actually recently gotten some colorblind glasses, which are called Enchroma Color Vision, which color vision means that you are restoring your vision completely. I'm relearning my colors as I'm experiencing the world in this new vibrancy that I've never had before.
With the glasses?
With the glasses. It's actually something that has inspired me to become a different kind of artist.
Andrew, thank you so much for coming on this show and sharing with me your experiences of being an artist and showing me some of your art.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Do you want to help me close the show?
Yeah.
Cool.
See you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel or visit my website at withrachelshow.com to see some more great interviews.